How effective is a mask? Well, there are smart people on both sides of the argument. Some say it really helps reduce the spread of droplets. Some say the virus is so small that it easily goes through a mask. In this video, I'm not here to debate the effectiveness of a mask. But since mask use is mandated by law in many countries, I'm going to talk about one of the biggest problems I see with many hours a day of long-term mask use. Just like anything that impedes normal human function, there are consequences to its use, and the mask is definitely impeding normal human breathing. And it's doing so for hundreds of millions of people around the world. It's only been for a few months, so it's quite difficult to have really long-term studies of large numbers of people to see the true consequences of long-term, many hours a day of mask use. However, I've been talking to my students, friends, family, clients over the past few weeks and asking them a few questions about their mask use habits. And from what I've gathered, one of the biggest things that changes when they wear masks is that they tend to use their mouth to breathe more. It's normal to breathe with your nose, it's healthy to breathe with your nose, but with a mask, you tend to breathe with your mouth more. So comment below, do you feel you need to use your mouth to breathe more? And of course, I live in super hot, super humid Singapore, so I think it's even more difficult here to fully breathe with your nose under a mask. I can feel it myself. Anytime I'm out walking around with a mask on, it's quite difficult to force yourself to breathe with your nose. And now a quick word from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by my team and I at Genesis Gym Singapore. For some of the finest personal training that takes your holistic health into account to help you achieve your goals, check us out at the links below. So if mouth breathing is a problem that's made worse by mask use, it's happening for millions of people. And mouth breathing is definitely a very detrimental thing to our health. I'll explain a few reasons why. The first reason mouth breathing is terrible is because it increases forward head posture, which means that from the side view, your head is like this. Alright? Many of us already have this problem because we're using the computer, we're already hunched over, we're using our phones a lot, and it's been estimated that for every inch your head is forward of normal, you're putting an additional about 4 kilo load on the muscles of the neck. That's why if you have bad posture like that, it's much more common to have neck aches and headaches. Mouth breathing increases forward head posture because when you're breathing with your mouth, your tongue has to be down. You cannot stick your tongue up, which is the correct normal resting position of the tongue, and you can't do that at the same time breathe with your mouth. When the tongue is up, it's easier to keep your head back. When your tongue is down and mouth open to breathe, it's more likely that your head goes forward. Another problem with the forward head posture is that when your head is forward, you have an increased angle here at the neck, right here. Okay? That angle, when increased, actually reduces the functioning of your glute muscles. And I'm not even talking about this in an exercise performance or sports performance kind of context. When your glute muscles do not fire, your lower back has to take more load. And that means you get more lower back discomfort. And that's another common problem that enough of us already have. You use masks, put your head forward, you have even more risk of lower back discomfort. I'll show you a quick demonstration from one of my exercise science classes, and you can see that when this person has their head up and back, the glute muscles just cannot fire. And in this demonstration, the guy is a pretty fit guy. In fact, he's a sports coach himself. So even this fit guy can't make his head go up at the same time fire his glute muscles properly. So it's going to be the same for everyone, and it's just a physical way that the body responds to the head up position. With the head up, the glutes just now he was normal. Glutes get weak with the head up. Watch this. Just now he was normal, right? Just change head position. He was very strong actually. Ready and push. Why? This is the same thing as why when you do the back extension, do the deadlift, I ask you to double chin. Give us a double chin. Become strong again. Ready and this. Strong. Okay, so with the double chin, glutes are strong. With the neck up, glutes are weak. So when you want to train glutes and reduce strain on the lower back for exercise, always head neutral. Once you do this, you shut off the glutes. So problem number one, forward head posture, higher risk when you're breathing with your mouth, and you breathe with your mouth more when you're using a mask a lot. The next thing that mouth breathing increases is stress hormone output. When you breathe correctly with your nose, you tend to use your diaphragm more. The diaphragm is the correct breathing muscle. It's big and strong. It takes almost no effort to breathe properly when you're using your nose and your diaphragm. When you breathe with your mouth, you're going to use more of your chest and more of the small muscles around the neck and shoulder. This leads to more neck and shoulder strains. Also, when you're using your neck and shoulder, this is the stressful situation breathing. You think about it when someone is afraid or angry or highly stressed, they breathe with their mouth and their shoulders go up and down. But when a person is calm and relaxed, in any kind of relaxation breathing or meditative breathing, it's always diaphragm, it's always nose, it's always calm. The upper body hardly moves at all. Only the diaphragm is moving to help the lungs expand and take in air. This kind of breathing turns on what's called the vagus nerve, which is highly related to the relaxation part of our nervous system. So nose breathing, relaxation, lower stress. Mouth breathing, stress breathing, and higher stress hormone output. And given your busy life and my busy life, we're usually busy and always wired up and thinking and stressed up, it's almost impossible that we are too low on the stress hormone output unless you have a medical condition. So I encourage you to think about it from your own experiences. When you mouth breathe, it's like when you're talking a lot. Like making videos or giving presentations or leading a meeting is actually tiring. If you've ever done those things where you've taught for many hours or led a meeting for many hours, you'll find, hey, how come I'm so tired? It's because you're over breathing with your mouth. You're getting stressed up. You definitely didn't run a marathon or do 20 sets of squats while you were doing the meeting, but you feel drained. Okay? So that's because you're mouth breathing a lot, and that's a high stress, tiring kind of breathing. The next reason that mouth breathing is not good for you is related to the previous one about over breathing. When you over breathe by using your mouth, you're actually going to reduce the amount of oxygen getting to your cells. The reason that you're getting actually less oxygen to your cells is called the Bohr effect. When you are breathing so much, you're clearing out a lot of carbon dioxide. And different from what most people think, you need carbon dioxide in the body to signal the red blood cells to deliver oxygen to the other cells. When you breathe so much, mouth breathing, over breathing, stress breathing, you actually lower the amount of carbon dioxide in the body because you're breathing so much, you're kicking out the carbon dioxide. When you have too low carbon dioxide levels, your red blood cells do not deliver oxygen to the rest of the body. So it's quite logical when you think about it, okay? So let's say I'm using this muscle, it's using energy to work. There's increased carbon dioxide production, so the carbon dioxide level is higher. When the red blood cell passes this area, it says, hey, this guy's working very hard, I got to deliver oxygen right here because I sense the high level of carbon dioxide. If you make the whole body's carbon dioxide level low because of too much breathing, you're going to have lower oxygen delivery to your muscles, to your organs, and so on. So that's actually very bad because if you're having a state of low oxygen, your body is going to use the anaerobic system to produce energy, the no oxygen system. And that's a very high stress system of producing energy. So that's going to further increase your body's overall stress levels. So mouth breathing gives you lower carbon dioxide levels, which reduce the oxygen delivery to your cells, which stress up the cells very much. So what can you do about all these things? Here are a few simple tips. The first is that you should always try to use your nose to breathe. I know, easier said than done, but now that you're aware of the problems, maybe you can try to build that habit. One of the keys to building that habit is to put your tongue at the roof of your mouth, okay? That is the natural resting position of the tongue. When your tongue's at the roof of your mouth, it's very, very difficult to mouth breathe. In fact, I think it's impossible. The second thing you can do is do this simple activity to check if you're using your chest to breathe or your diaphragm. Remember, we want diaphragm to keep the stress levels low. So, you put one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest, and from the side view, okay, when you breathe, your chest should not be going up and down like this. It should be only your belly going in and out. Alright? What you're trying to see is that your lower hand moves out and in, the upper hand does not move at all, or only a tiny bit, and only at the last part as you inhale. So, when you breathe in, of course there's more air, you should have your lower hand moving out. When you breathe out, your lower hand should be moving in. This is a simple way to give yourself cues, visual and feeling cues, to see if you're breathing correctly. The next thing you could do is minimize mask use. When it's not mandated by law, you can take off your mask, right? Don't wear it for nothing. If you're not in a high-risk population group or you're not visiting old people or you're by yourself, why are you wearing a mask? Take it off. It's not going to decrease the risk of anyone getting anything, and you're just hurting yourself. And finally, one exercise you can do to work on the forward head posture is very simple. You can give yourself a double chin. So first, I'm going to demonstrate the wrong way to do this, okay? You're going to go up and down. This is not what you want. What you're trying to do, I'm going to show from the side view, is you're going to try and pull your chin back. Your whole head is moving back towards the back of your body. So from side view, this is the wrong way. Up, down, up, this is wrong, okay? The correct way is to do this. Okay, bring your chin, whole head back. And giving yourself a double chin and hold it there. If you have trouble with this exercise, you can do it on your bed or lying on the floor. What you should feel is that you can feel your hair rubbing against the floor or the bed. That means you're doing it correctly. Okay, if you're doing the double chin, your hair will rub against the bed or the floor as you do it. If you're doing it wrongly, your head will come off the bed and then your hair will not rub on the bed because you're bringing your neck forward like this. What you want is to make a double chin by bringing your head backwards. So like all laws, the law to make people wear masks is not free and not without consequences. However, using these simple tips, I hope you can minimize the impact of the mask use so that you can stay super healthy in all ways. Hope you found this information useful. I look forward to making more content for you. Please subscribe to my channel below.